of my great-granddaughter, saying shut down Crestwood now. The people will rise like the water, now to calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter, saying shut down Crestwood now.
What do we want? Clean water.
So many things!
When do we want it?
No.
What do we want?
Clean water!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Clean water!
When do we want it?
Now!
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
During our time here at HWS colleges, we believed we developed a connection with the lake and the surrounding community. But guess what? We weren't as involved as we thought. 1 year ago, I was at the Seneca 7, a relay race around Seneca Lake, and saw a gas-free Seneca bumper sticker. Save Seneca Lake. Save it from what? I went to their website and found out that a company called Crestwood is going to store liquefied propane, butane, and natural gas in abandoned man-made salt caverns near Watkins Glen, a town on the southern tip of the lake that I ran past during the Seneca 7. This issue definitely struck a nerve, but I didn't think that I, a 19-year-old college student, could make a difference. Along the way, we realized that we can make a difference, and that we need to become invested in our town instead of assuming that other people are handling this issue. It is up to us as members of this community, as activists. Activists chain themselves to fences. They conduct research to present to the public. They learn how to use the legal system to their advantage. And sometimes they just place bumper stickers on their cars.
There was an announcement that there was going to be a meeting in Ithaca, New York, and I heard about some kind of gas storage in the salt caverns across the lake from where my family owned land, and I thought I better find out what's going on. We went online and we found out that the company, which was then Energy, it's since been purchased by Crestwood Midstream, had applied for a permit. And we read through the documents, and what we learned was that they were planning on turning the Finger Lakes region into the gas storage and transport hub for the northeastern United States. This was no small proposal that they were planning, and with it came an enormous amount of above-ground infrastructure, like a truck and train depot and a 60-foot burning flare stack and two huge, well, at that point it was one large brine pond. The kind of infrastructure that was going to completely industrialize our little bucolic area, and we just thought, this is not compatible with what we have here in the region, and we thought, well, somebody's got to do something about this. Why isn't anyone doing anything about this? And then we thought, oh, we can do something about this. So we started to form Gas for Seneca. That's how Gas for Seneca was born. Within weeks, we had a forum in the local high school auditorium.
People really had no idea that this was even going on. It's been flying under the radar for a year and a half, almost 2 years at that point. We realized early on that just a ragtag bunch of citizen activists, whatever you want to call them, wasn't going to stop this project. So we started building a business coalition, local businesses opposed to the project.
Well, I first worked with Gas for Seneca. We were going, each town or county was passing oppositions to ban the gas storage. So I became involved right around the time that was happening in Yates County. So I went door to door with yard signs.
My first contact with getting involved was with Gas for Seneca, because We Are Seneca Lake didn't exist then. And I participated in letter writing campaigns to Governor Cuomo and other officials. I submitted lots of comments, I signed petitions, I attended a informational conference that they had called Seneca in the Balance, where they had business owners and activists and scientists and public health advocates all come forward and talk about the project and what was wrong.
I was actually asked to look at the draft environmental impact statement for the whole project many years ago, and asked to comment on it. I did. Since then, the Gas-Free Seneca folks have been asking me to present my information on what I know about water quality issues, and specifically the impact that the mines might have on water quality issues in Seneca Lake.
You know, we have really literally sacrificed friendships, our own personal health, our own lives really for 4 years to fight this fight. It's not an easy thing to do. It's it's a strong commitment.
You know, we've spent the last 4 years petitioning our local, state, and federal elected officials to intercede on our behalf, and we're being ignored. I think people like the We Are Seneca Lake folks feel this is their last recourse. You know, so right now it's a peaceful blockade of the gate until the police come and haul them away, right? In other parts of the world, we're seeing people. Just the other day, I couldn't believe this photograph I saw of these people that had locked themselves down in Cove Point, Maryland, where the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has approved a massive liquefied natural gas export terminal right on the shores of the Chesapeake Bay. I'm really afraid that if the DEC ever approves this permit, that's what we're going to be seeing here on Seneca Lake.
Sandra Steingraber says this all the time. Civil disobedience is a last course, like a last ditch effort. It's like we wouldn't be here doing this if we didn't feel that we were just being silenced and not listened to. So.
You do civil disobedience when your normal channels of political change and voice have been blocked, as they have been in this instance. And so it's an appeal to the deeper conscience of the community to rethink the direction that it is going.
We Are Seneca Lake was kind of born out of that need to fill that space, because basically we have redressed our grievances in every single way that we possibly could without breaking the law. We have contacted our officials, written letters, we have taken things to court. We have spent so much of our own money and our own resources to make sure that that message was out there and that people could have like this information resource about this dangerous project.
When We Are Seneca Lake formed, I was instantly in it. We blocked the gate of Crestwood. There's been almost 100 people arrested. Well, I was arrested twice. I go to court Wednesday night and I'll plead guilty and go to jail. The bigger goal is to raise awareness, to show the community that these people, grandmothers, doctors, teachers, are all willing to be arrested to help protect our community. And if we have to fill the jails, fill the courts, cost the county money, we just want to wake people up to this threat.
Roland Mecklin was arrested. He's 86 years old, and they had handcuffs on him, and he has a cane. I'm like, holy crap. So I was like, okay, we've got to do this. I blockaded Crestwood and got arrested. I did the live stream, the long day, the day that Crestwood said, basically they said let him freeze. It started out, we were out there like 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, and it was 16 degrees when we started.
As somebody who has gone through nonviolent civil disobedience training, who has been at their protests, who has been on the line committing nonviolent civil disobedience, which means that we were protesting in front of their facility, and the company called the police on us and they had us arrested. And it means showing up in court and trying to explain why it is that we are doing what we're doing, both to the court and to the community.
We also know that there's a lot of value to going to jail and serving that sentence. And to go to jail over a trespass violation is like pretty unheard of. Like the first couple times people like started saying I'm not going to pay the fine, like the judge was like really shocked. He was like, you realize that my only other option is to send you to jail. I'm like, that just doesn't happen. a lot, especially over a violation. This isn't a misdemeanor or a felony. It's basically like next to a parking ticket, what we're doing. So it's not very often you have people going to jail on that level of law breaking. So it grabs a lot of attention, and it really shows people like how serious we are.
We are so independent of other economies. When everything got bad and people started, feeling depressed or didn't have any money, people still came here to travel. So our restaurants were still busy, our hotels were so busy. So we couldn't believe that they would jeopardize that self-sustaining economy for something so dangerous.
As an owner of the Glen Mountain Market and Bakery, I advocate for our lake, its tributaries, and the land surrounding it. I'm opposed to propane, methane, and butane storage in the old and crumbling salt caverns surrounding our waters. I understand that storage can happen safely in areas less occupied, in areas without a water source that nourishes 100,000 people in my community and surrounding areas. Tourism and agritourism are important to my business. Many people flock to our wineries, breweries, distilleries, goat farms, buffalo farms, dairy farms, creameries, animal sanctuaries, natural waterfalls, national forest systems, state parks, lakes, etc. Gas storage threatens those industries and associated activities. Without these beautiful, adventurous, and interested people coming to our area in the millions, my business could not be successful. Who would we feed? Farms and other agribusinesses provide my community and my customers clean, fresh, local, delicious, and sustainable food sources. Brine ponds and unpotable lake water threaten those farms.
I've been strongly advocating for pressure tests of these abandoned caverns, and if you put them under pressure for a month and you don't lose any of that pressure, then you know they're good, and it's good to go. If there was another major accident, then we'd probably go back up to 180 or 200 parts per milligrams per liter.
Is that, can we drink that?
That would be problematic.
We
Yeah.
can't drink that?
We could. If it depends on which, there's drinking advisories that says it's probably too high, but those are just advisories. They aren't MCLs.
I see.
We
And then
be
it would take...
right near the sodium MCL though.
Is there anything that that intake plant on 14 could do about it?
No. You just wait out another 100 years and then it would get fresh.
That's no good.
If not me, then who? And if everyone keeps saying, well, what if you go to jail? What if you do this? Well, what if I don't? What if they contaminate our water? What if there's a catastrophe?
This is a really beautiful area that I was just really blessed to be a part of, and it has given a lot to me, so I feel a need to be a good steward and to give back to the land and the water.
Seneca Lake, ever since I moved here, has been what I've been working on for my research, my education, my teaching, and everything else. So it means a lot. I'd hate to lose it.
I have to look at my nieces and know that I did everything that I could do.
Well, my overall goal is to bring down capitalism, and I think that climate politics are a really good way to do that, because it's there is no way to address climate change within the framework of capitalism, right? I mean, as long as we have concern with private property and corporate profits, any attempt to confront the ongoing climate disaster is going to be stymied. It's going to be thwarted. So that's my primary goal.
Activism, people who are standing in front of the gates to prevent people from working at the U.S. salt plant. That's more activism than what I do.
Just standing up, whether you stand up by writing a letter, making a phone call, if you feel it in each conversation that you have, I mean, that's where you can start changing minds. Whether you just preach your town crier or you are in handcuffs.
The people who go out there and risk arrest and risk their freedom on the line, there. They can't do it without that support team that's on the other side. For example, we would never ever do an action without video support, because video support is so crucial and important to the protection of the people who are doing that. So having an efficient support team is just as important.
Activism is an obligation of every citizen to find what they strongly believe in and take it up as their passion, to defend what they strongly believe in. No more sitting at home at night and watching Dance with the Stars. Get off your dying asses, find something you believe in, and do something about it.
Activism isn't just like an activity. I feel like it's also like a lifestyle. To me, it means that you have been alerted to something that is wrong or something that is amiss or some sort of injustice in the world, and you feel a personal obligation to contribute to the solution of that problem. It's not just like something you hear on the news and you say like, oh, that's really sad, and then you go on with your life. It's something that you feel like you won't be able to sleep at night if you don't do something about this. And it very quickly becomes a lifestyle, because I think we definitely live in a culture and a society right now that encourages us to just be a part of status quo, that there's a formula to life that you go through. You go to public school or whatever school, in a private or whatever, you start with your education for the first 13 years of your life, or even more, longer than that. And then you go to college and you get a career, you start your job, you get a family, you have kids, and you retire, and then you die. It's like, that's like this formula that we're set up to do right now in the United States. Activism is sort of a lifestyle that drags you out of that and encourages you to ask the important questions, like, why am I here? What am I going to contribute to this world? How will I be remembered?
We're in the position right now where we're playing the Save the World Symphony right now. And as far as activism goes, we don't know what part you'll play, because we don't know what skill set you bring to the table at this point. So we can't ask you what instrument to play, but all we can do is ask you to pick up an instrument and play it well, because you play a part in this role. And so please pick up an instrument and start playing it now, because we don't know how much time we've got left, and we need to do something. All of us need to be doing something.
Oh God, I don't really define activism, right? Though the question's is a hard one, because I think like, I don't ever think of myself as an activist. Yeah, I really. I guess it's because I don't want to. I feel like that would be kind of like over glorifying what I do, since I'm not like I'm not like an organizer. Though I'm politically committed, but I don't think I would want to say that I'm an activist. Yeah, because I want to be able to let people who are real organizers do that.
Activist. I'm never an activist. I would much rather gather scientific information to prove as best I can one side of the issue or the other.
I do see myself as an activist. Most of my time is spent doing this, and the more I get involved, the more I want to be involved. It's growing. It's becoming more of a movement with me. I'm becoming more dedicated.
Yeah, we're very fortunate and blessed. Crestwood has made us very strong as a community. So thanks to Crestwood for that. Yeah.
I've chosen to publicly oppose this issue and involve my business. I've done this because I truly believe that the storage of harmful substances in and on the banks of our local clean water source could not only harm me, but my family, my community, and my business. We have lost several patrons due to my support of the group We Are Seneca Lake. I was arrested with the group on November 19th alongside 8 other small business owners. We stood in the bitter 16-degree cold for 7 hours before being arrested on trespassing violations for halting a truck at Crestwood's southern gate.
Upon receiving knowledge of this, several patrons began boycotting our store. They did not leave us to support another small business. They moved to Dunkin' Donuts. Our county legislator, Philip Barnes, admitted openly in an email that he would be boycotting our store as well because of my decisions. News of their efforts have only increased our business, however. Our store is full of new customers. People who may have come in once or twice a month stop daily for coffee.
One of the regrets that I have is not being more involved in local politics sooner. You know, we kind of take for granted that the local politicians that we elect to make decisions for us are going to do their jobs and they're going to make decisions on our behalf. And so we sit home and, you know, we're a little complacent about things until perhaps it's too late. Had we been more involved in local politics sooner, we may have known about this project and this corporation may not have been able to sneak in and get their permits in place and buy this property without us knowing.
This is something real right here that people here at HWS in Geneva can be doing. It is stopping the development of the fracking infrastructure in upstate New York. It's stopping a major, and it also inspires other climate activists, you know, everywhere. There's already a group now in Baltimore that is, and what are they? I can't remember their name, but they're using the "We Are This" and they're blockading their company.
Every neighborhood's obligation is, when something bad comes into your neighborhood that's going to threaten your health and your safety, you form a neighborhood watch and you keep stuff like that out. That's your obligation as a community. And that's what we're doing. And every neighborhood should do that. No neighborhood should allow any we view Crestwood as criminals. They're going to come in and they're going to put something dangerous that threatens our lives into our community. Our obligation as citizens is to keep that kind of thing out of our community. That's what we're doing. I've said before I'm going to keep fighting or at least die trying, and I think that's where I'll end.